Hello everyone. Got 3 dirty jokes for you today. So a man finds himself in a jungle surrounded by cannibals. Seeing no possible way to escape, he says to himself, "Oh God, I'm screwed." Suddenly a light shines down from the heavens upon the man and he hears the voice of God. And God says, "No, my son, you're not screwed. You see the rock on the ground next to you, the pointy one. Take it and throw it as hard as you can at their leader." So, gathering his courage, the man grabs the rock as he was told and throws it with all his might at their leader. The rock soars through the air with uncanny speed and accuracy and bashes the leader square in between the eyes, instantly killing him. As his body drops to the ground, the rest of the cannibals stare in disbelief. Jaws drop and eyes darting back and forth between the man and their fallen leader. Just then the light shines back down upon the man and he hears the voice of God again. And God says, "Now you're screwed." So after his wife disappeared in a kayaking accident, an Anchorage man, Mr. Wilkens, had been anxiously waiting for any news about her. He had spent the entire night pacing around the house, hoping against hope that she would be found alive and well. The next morning, as he was making himself a cup of coffee, he heard a knock at the door. He rushed to open it, hoping that it was someone with good news. To his surprise, he found 2 grim-faced Alaska State Troopers standing on his doorstep. He knew then that the news they had for him was not going to be good. "We're sorry, Mr. Wilkens, but we have some information about your wife," said one trooper, his voice gray. Mr. Wilkens felt his heart sink. He knew what was coming next. "Tell me, did you find her?" he shouted, his voice trembling with fear. The troopers looked at each other, hesitating for a moment before the other trooper spoke up. "We have some bad news, some good news, and some really great news. Which do you want to hear first?" Mr. Wilkens felt a lump form in his throat. He knew he had to brace himself for the worst. "Give me the bad news first," he said, his voice barely above a whisper. The trooper said, "I'm sorry to tell you, sir, but this morning we found your wife's body in Kakamak Bay." Mr. Wilkens felt his legs go weak. He sank into a nearby chair, feeling like the weight of the world had just been placed on his shoulders. "Oh my God," he exclaimed, his mind racing with thoughts of his wife and what had happened to her. Swallowing hard, he asked, "What's the good news?" The trooper continued, "When we pulled her up, she had 12 25-pound king crabs and 6 good-sized Dungeness crabs clinging to her, and we feel you are entitled to a share in the catch." Stunned, Mr. Wilkens couldn't believe what he was hearing. He felt a mix of emotions, ranging from sorrow for his wife to disbelief at the trooper's words. "That's the good news. What's the great news?" he asked, trying to make sense of it all. The trooper said, "We're going to pull her up again tomorrow." So a man was speeding down Alabama highway, feeling secure in a gaggle of cars all traveling at the same speed. However, as they passed a speed trap, he got nailed with an infrared speed detector and was pulled over. The officer handed him the citation, received his signature, and was about to walk away when the man asked, "Officer, I know I was speeding, but I don't think it's fair. There were plenty of other cars around me who were going just as fast. So why did I get the ticket? Ever been fishing?" The policeman suddenly asked the man. Yeah," the startled man replied. The officer grinned and added, "Did you ever catch them all?"